Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And as I say, in our 21st year on the air, we touch a lot of bases. We've talked fishing on the last segment. We talked wildlife on the segment before that. We had the executive director of the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency on in the first segment, and we're going back to Little Rock. You know, being from North Little Rock, which is, for some reason, anything that happens in Little Rock, they say Little Rock, they don't credit North Little Rock across the river. In fact, we're known as Dogtown because all the Little Rock people used to deposit their dogs across the river, you know. But now we're getting a little bit of there. We're getting bridges across. We don't have to go in the covered wagons anymore. But little did I know that one of these guys on the show here, I've heard his name many times. He's done so much for waterfowl in the state of Arkansas. Another one is Brent Burch. And Brent, good morning to you. Thank you for being part of Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I know this is a busy weekend for you, but good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, too. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, and we had to bring your interpreter along, too, you know, so to make sure, because this is a big event going over in Little Rock. Today, started yesterday at the State House Convention Center, 80,000 square feet, which I've been to many times growing up in North Little Rock, and spent a lot of my journalism career over there working for the old Arkansas Democrat. But started yesterday, and Brad Heidel is with us again, the Delta Waterfowl Senior Director of Marketing. Brad, you kicked it off yesterday. We're getting ready to roll here at 10 o'clock this morning with a seminar on conservation pioneers. So talk about what's going on today in Little Rock.
Hey, good morning, and thanks so much for having us back. Yesterday was nothing short of a spectacular day here in Little Rock. There were crowds of people actually got to come to a duck hunter's utopia in downtown Little Rock.
Yes, yeah. And I know one of those guys who loves the sport of waterfowling, as I said, is Brent Burch. And Brent, I know an event like this, how special is something like this for you?
Well, it's big, especially with, Arkansas branded as the duck hunting capital of the world, and to bring, so many people from so many different parts of the country, even though it's obviously not duck season weather.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, a lot of different.
No. No, but we can think about it.
And see Little Rock.
Yeah, it's always duck hunting, when you're in our area here, because I've never met every duck hunter's optimistic about what's going to happen next year. Man, I don't know if that affects you, Brent, or not, but Brad lives up there where they keep them all the time. They don't send them down here, so we can talk to Brad about that. But this event itself, for $10, folks, I mean, you can still get up this morning, head over to Little Rock in 2.5 hours, and don't go any faster than that, okay? And get over there to the beautiful State House Convention Center, and this thing works out good. And I wanted to ask you, Brad, before I come back to Brent, about why Little Rock. Tell our listeners why Little Rock.
It really was a no-brainer for Delta Waterfowl to come to Little Rock. When you look at U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service numbers, the number of duck hunters in the state, and then you look at the number of Delta Waterfowl volunteers and chapters and members in the state, pretty much put a bullseye right on Arkansas. So it was a no-brainer for us to come down here to what many view as the duck hunting capital of the world.
And Brent,
guess what? This weekend, it is the duck hunting capital of the world.
Yes, and Brent, for an event like you, having grown up and your love for waterfowl, and folks, you can go to BrentBurch.com, find out all the information about this guy. He helped start the Waterfowl Hall of Fame there in Arkansas, and he's part of the Museum of Arkansas Grand Prairie and Sudgard, a member of the Arkansas Game and Fish. I think that's the foundation board. Is that right, Brent?
That's correct. That's right.
You're a member of that. So duck hunting to you, how did that originate?
I was fortunate enough that I had a dad that was pretty serious about the sport when I was little. The first recollection I can have was going on Minneponds near a little town called Keogh, which is between here and Stuttgart.
I know where that is. Yeah.
And that's where it all started. And then I just fell in love with the sport and not just the sport, not just the part about killing ducks. It's everything else that goes along with duck hunting that anybody knows, that the camaraderie and the campfires and dogs and good to take kids and all that. It's just an awesome experience that I just can't get enough of it.
Well, you can't if you're talking about ducks in the end of July. We talk ducks year round here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And when Brad first came on, and he said this is the first one of these events, and I just know my folks in Arkansas will support. I know they're going to support my hogs, okay, but they're also going to support an event like this. And the reception, Brad, you guys, to me, the welcome's been put out from folks that I've talked to over there, and the facility itself is number one. So talk about people that drive over today from Memphis or throughout my listening area, what will they find? What will they see today?
Well, there's 80,000 square feet of everything you can possibly imagine for duck hunting. It's all in a beautiful indoors facility, and it's all air conditioned. So if it's hot out, hey, you can come in and escape the heat. I'd say every manufacturer of ammunition and clothing, etc., for duck hunting is here. You'll see firearms, you'll see dogs, you'll see decoys, you'll see boats. You name it, it's here.
And it comes back tomorrow, folks. So today it's 10 a.m. to what? What's the time today?
You bet. From today is 10 until 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And tomorrow,
all right,
Sunday, we are open from 9 a.m. to 4.
And in between,
so plenty of time to get down.
For $10, folks, you can wear out 3 pairs of tennis shoes in this. I'm telling you. Because there's so much, and you got how many stages? 3 stages, right? I mean,
there's 3 stages. We've got a duck dog stage, a duck hunting stage presented by Realtree. They brought in a ton of their pro staff, and then you can learn from the Delta Waterfowl pros about how we're putting more ducks over decoys.
And you've done that before, and I know Brent, your love of waterfowl and particularly the Stuttgart area and things along that line. I know it's got to make you feel, as I do as an Arkansan, for something like this only gives more spotlight to our state, doesn't it?
Yeah, no question. As I was earlier, just to be able to bring people to Arkansas to kind of see what it's all about, I think you'll see, or we're seeing a lot of support from this area, but the draw. And the reach that Delta Waterfowl has, not only regionally, but, coast to coast, it's kind of a proud moment, for Arkansas to be able to, especially be this first go at this deal and have it be such a success.
Well, I don't know who's judging the trivia game, the waterfowl trivia game, but I'd like to see that behind the wall with nobody knowing I'm there, okay, just to see who can answer the questions. I'm not sure what the answers will be on some of these things, but I do know that I hope everybody there knows that we're going to have the best waterfowl season we've ever had. I'm just not sure what year yet, okay? I mean,
they're getting enough water.
I did not complete the sentence. I was waiting for Brent to complete that, okay? Because everybody says that the duck hunter is the most optimistic. Brad, I appreciate you being with us and being a part of Outdoors with Larry Ray during the month of July. Brent, continue the great work that you do in so many different areas. Just go, like I said, go to Brent Burch, BURCH.com. Or you can go to my website, LarryRay.com. I think we took up the same kind of website names. We didn't want anybody to forget who we are, but go to those. And, folks, again, make the drive to Little Rock today. It'll be the gas prices are going down. You have nothing else to do. Drive over to Little Rock, spend some money over there, and go to the State House Convention Center for $10. I guarantee you it'll be the best $10 you've ever spent as a waterfowl hunter. Do I get an amen from that, Brent?
Hey,
No doubt about it.
That's it.
Must attend event.
There you go. All right, guys, thank y'all. And again, Brad, thank you very much for being a part of Outdoors with Larry Ray. And we look forward to the second Duck Hunters Expo next year. Okay, buddy? All right?
Sounds perfect. Thanks so much, Larry.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Brent. I hope to meet you someday, okay? All right.
Likewise.
Right on.
All right. Thank y'all. All right. That's a great event going on. All right. You should have a duck trivia. I mean, you should have a duck pun. I don't know.
Well, I had a story one time. This guy was sitting on the bank with a bunch of feathers.
Yeah.
And the game warden said, "Are you hunting ducks?" He said, "No, I'm just holding their clothes."
Oh, you're... Was that in that book right there?
No, that's one I heard a long time ago.
You heard that one a long time. You didn't get that out of the book, did you?
No, I got one out of the book. If you got a bladder infection, you're in trouble.
Do we have time? What would you just said? What was that again?
If you have a bladder infection, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. He did say that, didn't he? Do we have time for one more? All right, well, we've got time for one more. Get off this urine thing. That went right over my head, so to speak.
Yeah, I went to this grocery store one time, old-timey grocery store up in the country, and it had a big old sign that said, "Beware a dog."
Yeah.
And I saw this dog laying around. I said, "What's wrong with that dog?" He said, "Well, people keep falling over him. That's why I said beware of the dog."
All right, let's take a break on that. Close out today's show with Bill Jones. Going to hook up with him, the new member of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.